What does it truly mean to love something with all of your heart? Well, if you really want to know, look at those who are called fanatics. You know, the word fanatic, in its original context, original meaning, meant something very different than what we use today. When somebody says he is a fan, well, the word fan is abbreviation for fanatic. And fanatic is someone that we considers who is devoted and overly enthusiastic about whatever it is that they love. And the original meaning of fanatic, that came from the Latin fanaticus, actually meant someone of or belonging to a temple or sanctuary, which simply meant that they are fanatic. They something that they worship, something that they adore, something that they, you can say, obsessed with, belong to. And it is very sad to see how the only people who still maintain that kind of original enthusiasm of being a fanatic are the fans. Fill in the blank. Sports team.
Soccer, basketball, Cristiano Ronaldo, yeah, Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Conor McGregor, UFC fighters. I mean, not to mention the crazy pop stars, singers, and YouTuber influencers. Yeah, they're fanatics. And oh, politicians. 1 in 3 Americans has a Trump hat, MAGA hat on. Everybody's pushing something. They're pushing that more than they're pushing even their faith in God. It's on a bumper sticker, it's on their hat, it's on their shirts. They've got everything. Infowars, medicine, pills, workout. Don't forget Disney. Don't forget Marvel Comics. Yeah, they're fans, all right. And they spend billions, trillions of dollars on fandom worship, fandom praise. They go to festivals, they go to conventions, they go to conferences, they have holidays, special days, season tickets. They're all in, and there's nothing too much you can ask of them. They'll pay at any price. The amusement parks know that. The manufacturing product companies know that. The branding, all of the clothing and fashion, they know that. They're committed. Not to mention the binge watching Netflix crowd. Oh, they're fans. Fans having fun. And it's really sad because all of that energy that we're using over there for that robs you. You have nothing left for God. You have nothing left sometimes for your own children. You have nothing left for your own spouse, your husband, or your wife. And in many cases, you have nothing left even for yourself. You're so depressed because you've given so much of yourself away to this fandom materialism that you can't even sit down quiet and take a rest to breathe from running, Pilates, and jumping and hiking and surfing and skating. You just run yourself into a frenzy. You have nervous energy, a nervous energy that is excused and justified and explained for vanity and the shellfish of selfishness. And that's the problem in our world. You're running around chasing peace, and you're not chasing peace, you're getting chaos in the name of peace. Why? As Guy said, you are fans of the wrong thing. That's really the center of it. You're just a fan of something that does not really give you anything, it sucks from you. You're not connected to a vine. A vine feeds the branches and things that are attached to it, doesn't suck from it, it gives to it. but you're not attached to a vine.
Well, not only you're not attached to a vine, you're attached to death. And what's really interesting to me is the level of devotion, though, because there's something to be said. As I was looking these definitions on the internet, trying to find some examples I can use. You know how many pictures came up of people painted their entire body purple and gold, screaming their lungs out without a shirt on in the Minnesota Viking in the middle of the snow, yelling and cheering for their team, willing to get pneumonia and lose their voice, get all kind of diseases. People go to Coachella for their favorite DJ, rolling in the mud, getting a disease. They could care less, man. They're so devoted. But you know what else is interesting to me? That those fans who are so extremely devoted will never dare to associate with fans of the opposite team. Well, don't you dare. If you're a Laker fan, you're never gonna associate with a Boston Celtic fan. Well, those are arch nemesis. You'll never...
They kill each other. We have Dodger Stadium, California. You know how often people are getting beat up and killed in the parking lot at the tailgate parties or after the game, not to mention the soccer stadium stampede every year. Yeah, they kill. Now, granted, Hamas and the Houthis and Hezbollah and the mullahs and the Shiites and the Sunnis, in the name of Allah, in the name of God, a God, I should say, not God, but a God, and a false one at that. Oh, well, they're willing to do for a God what you're willing to do for a ball. Both are fans of the wrong thing, but maybe they upped their game and did it for something a little more worthy in their view than for a ball that somebody is kicking, putting, throwing. You all are attached to some form of death. In the name of what? Delusion? An illusion? A utopian dystopia? You're attached to death. Casinos. Guy and I spent a lot of time in Vegas ministering and preaching and observing. There are 89-year-old women with oxygen tanks attached to their nose, staring and spending all their pension and Social Security income, hours sitting while they're smoking with an oxygen tank attached to their nose, one coin after another, one coin after another, or not to mention the high rollers and what you do. Sucks the life out of you. Then you drag your children. And we're going to Vegas. You drag your kids and your babies. It used to be an adult playground. Oh, no. We want everybody. We want to get the children, then we get the future. You're going to be dead and gone in 10, 20 years. We're going to lose our money source, our life source. We need to get the children too. Now they'll keep coming. We'll get them and they'll play on our roller coasters and in our big giant arcades. We'll turn it into an adult Disneyland just so they can transition from that when they're old enough to the prostitution and the gambling, the shows and the money. Ah, interesting, isn't it? You get the children, you've got the future. And to get the children, you've got to get the parents, because the parents have to sacrifice the children by either not teaching them, not leading them, and not warning them. Now the enemy gets the children because the children are exposed or vulnerable. You've made them exposed and vulnerable by your lack of teaching and direction, by your lack of parenting. You see how that works? Get the man, then you'll get the woman. Get the woman, you got the children and the man. There you go.
Yeah, and it really spreads to all lines of society. We mentioned briefly politics. Well, Democrats and Republicans, you know you're going to brainwash your child. You're going to indoctrinate him. Why Republicans? Well, oh, we're liberals, we're Democrats, those Republicans are evil. Whatever your belief, people will sacrifice their children and indoctrinate them and teach them all the reasons why. And naturally, you're not going to associate with the opposite camp. Stephen, I remember during the election, he was walking in Seal Beach, and this man walked up to him. Can you believe it? They opened up a Trump store. Of course, well, it's a liberal town. Well, Trump store. People are going crazy.
They are. Even today in the Jerusalem Post, IDF soldier in Gaza was standing in front of a little tiny child, little girl, must have been 5, 6 years old, holding a Palestinian flag, and the father screaming at the child, throw rocks at that soldier, shoot him, to the child. And the child starts approaching the soldier, waving the flag, and the father is screaming at his little 5-year-old, 4, 5, 6-year-old child, kill him, shoot him, throw rocks at him. And the child is just waving the flag. And the soldier looks down on the little kid and smiles at the kid and gives the little kid a high five. And the kid smiles and walks back to his father or her father. Couldn't tell if it was a boy or girl. But the father is standing behind the child. Kill him, throw rocks at him, shoot him. Interesting. I don't think I've ever seen one Jewish parent stand behind their child and ever utter such a vile thing. It's not done. You see, people are fans of death, which is why the Surgeon General warning, do not smoke this or you'll die of cancer. You may get cancer. It doesn't matter. You are a fan of death. If you were a fan of life, you would throw those cigarettes down in a heartbeat, but you don't. Alcohol. The liquor store doesn't have to do anything. There's no big advertisement at all. Just open the doors. Build it. They'll come. Open the doors. You don't have to be nice to them. Liquor store people aren't nice to you. They're not friendly. Why? You're going to buy what we don't need to push anything. You're pushing yourself over the cliff, over the ledge. You are a fan of death. And some of that way, you're unreasonable. You love negative energy. You love a fight. You love arguments. You don't know how to have a good conversation. You love dissension and division. You love argumentation, confrontation. Because you feed off of that negative energy. You're not full of God's truth and God's grace. You don't love life. John 3:19, 2021. Why is this way? Because they love death. They love darkness. And Halloween proves that every year. The love of death. The celebration of death. The joy of death. You are not a fan of the light. You're not a fan of life. So you say, it's my body, my right to kill this unborn fetus. 6, 7 months in, kill it. You're not a fan of life. You're a fan of self, but you're not a fan of life. You're not a fan of sacrifice to give somebody else life. If you're a fan of life, you would give up your life to give someone else life. Isn't that what blood transfusions are about? You give up your life to give someone else your life. You're not a fan of life. You will take somebody's life just so that your life can keep going. You love death.
So what does it mean to love the Lord with all your heart, all your mind, all your strength? Well, just do what they do, except do it for the Lord. Is it really that complicated?
Amen.
Worship God, love Him, clothe yourself with His garments, show up to His events, hang around other fans of Him, talk about Him in the marketplace, brag about Him, know everything about His prophets, know everything about His scriptures, know everything about His commandments, sing all of His songs, scream your lungs out for Him. Do what the people of the world do for their thing, and you'll be the best servant that the Lord has ever had. Is it really that complicated? No. You just don't love God, and that's the truth.
And that's the truth.